2.
Hey everybody, Sam Kavaris in the Nimnik Buick GMC video sports update. Jaguars get their second win of the year, and they do it against the Titans, who, as everybody says, are not a great team. But it doesn't matter. They get the win. They know now what it feels like to finish a game. The Indianapolis game was kind of an anomaly, fits and starts, and one long pass to Cecil Shorts that turns out to be the game winner. This was a game that didn't start well with an interception, fell behind 3-0. The Jaguars kept hanging in there, doing some things, and made a play at the end of the game. There were a couple of key elements. Clearly, Chad Henne is the guy right now that the team responds to. And they do things. They continue to hang in there. I was in the locker room afterwards, and Montel Owens and Rashad Jennings were kind of joking about how they don't flinch. And Rashad said, "Why would you?" And I was like, well, sure, you're right. You're 1-9. Why would you flinch? I mean, just go out there and do your job, and good things could possibly happen. They do respond to Chad Henne, and he hung in there despite the fact that the offensive line allowed him to be sacked 7 times in the game. That's unacceptable. They didn't have as much running game as they wanted, although they did gain 100 yards between Jalen Parmalee and Rashad Jennings. They did have Cecil Shorts go over 100 yards. That's 3 weeks in a row with a 100-yard wide receiver. And he also set the franchise record for 4 plays of 50 yards or more in the same season. Cecil Shorts, the guy who caught 2 passes last year. 2! All right? Not Jimmy, not Keenan, but Cecil Shorts now has that record. Why? Well, clearly he's developed. Blackman is developing. I mean, Justin Blackman is a guy that you couldn't count on. Yesterday, he made some catches that were absolutely, critical and weren't simple. And that's what you're looking for, guys who can make plays. When the Titans got the ball back and the Jaguars only had a 2-point lead, you absolutely thought Rob Baronis was going to go down there and kick a 60-yarder to beat him by a point. Instead, Russell Allen jumps up in the air and tips the ball, and Dwight Lowry, who we haven't seen since week 5, comes off his man and intercepts it. Scobie kicks a field goal, the Jaguars win by 5. But somebody made a play. I mean, we've said this in this format a couple of times this year, that those are the plays that get you beat. When you allow this first down or when you allow this particular offensive set to beat you. That play is the kind of play that gives you victory. And that's what the Jaguars end up getting. On the road at Buffalo this week, and then at home against the Jets coming up on December 9th. Looks like the national championship game is set, by the way, after the weekend. It'll be Notre Dame versus the winner of the SEC title game, either Alabama or Georgia. The loser of that game probably won't play in a BCS Bowl. How interesting is that? But the Gators, who lost to Georgia and only have that one loss after beating Florida State, will play at a BCS Bowl and probably be the Sugar Bowl, which comes up on the 2nd of January in New Orleans. I'm Sam Kavaris, and that's the Nimnik Buick GMC Video Sports Update.